I am the Death Star, number umpteenth, 150th after being destroyed all the time. Oh, so frustrating, but I'm never gonna give up because I'm passionate, and that's what entrepreneurship is all about, is being passionate about your purpose. And that's what I'm passionate about, is solving the problem of the rebellions trying to destroy darkness. Just kidding. No, we changed now. Darth Vader says we're gonna be a good Death Star and we're gonna blow up nothing, man. We're gonna have a blast and party with y'all folks, because we passionate about living, we passionate about life, and that's why we gotta use this passion and drive ourselves to do good things for good stuff, for good people. Yeah, let's do it. Here's the passion. Here's the passion. What's up, guys? Thank you for checking out this video. There's gonna be some cool entrepreneurial tips and tricks here. This is part of a Kidpreneurship course for parents I recorded. So if you want to check out the entire course, module 1 is right over here. Or you can check out our regular actual YouTube videos, which shares tips, tricks, roadmap strategies to help you build profitable businesses. Lastly, this is a non-for-profit YouTube channel, so 100% of YouTube AdSense revenue will be donated to legal registered charities that support youth entrepreneurship. So the more we share, the more we care. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get on with the video. Peace. Oh man, that's the most passionate Death Star I have ever met. Oh my goodness. Wow, mind blown, huh guys? I know. Welcome to our next module on passionately and interesting. So as you can see, Mr. Death Star right here was really into his purpose, or her purpose, or its purpose, right? And it's amazing how this thing just keeps coming back. It's like Jaws. Jaws keeps coming back for those of you who are, born in those years where you watch Jaws 1, 2, and you're like, why am I even watching the third one? But I did, right? And so, yeah, the Death Star keeps coming back for some weird reason. Like, we don't know why. Just, it's like, what about Bob? Bill Murray, if you've seen that movie. Open the door, he's there. He's never gone. That's the thing about Bob. He's just never gone. So that's like determination. And with my kids, I remember when I first gave the definition of how money's made. Yeah, well, you solve a problem people want to pay for. But then we talked about when you hit a wall. How do you know there's a problem that you're willing to just tough through the wall, that you're not going to give up? And our kids and I, we came up with the fact that we thought we were passionate about it, that we actually found it interesting. And now here's the interesting thing, is that there's been research, and you could YouTube it, because that's what I do, I YouTube things. And whether it's true or not, at least there is enough people out there who say that, when it comes to memory, like Jim Quick, that's another cool guy who's like really good at brain stuff. And he was saying that there's two elements that kind of really help you remember things. Like, this guy has the ability to just remember like everyone's names. That's impossible! The following day, like 30, 40 people. It's insane. You could read him like 40 numbers and somehow, I think, like a whole bunch of numbers, he could actually like remember all the numbers, right? And what he said was there's like kind of a couple of things that contribute to it, but one of it is a why. Like, there's got to be a strong reason why you want to remember, and that's when we actually start using our brains to remember things. And another thing is there's an emotion to it. There's some kind of emotion around something that the things we remember. And for children, for kids, and for adults actually, but kids, they go towards things that are interesting. And what's really interesting was that I met the founder of TED Talks, and it was through my buddy Joe Milkinski. And it was incredible that every time you spoke to him, all he kept saying was, "That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I find it rather interesting."
Yes, we get it.
And he outright said that he won't pursue something that's not interesting, but he's always interested. That's what's fascinating about him. Richard, Mr. Richard, I like to call him. I don't know if I actually called him that actually, but it was incredible to see the way his mind worked, And so what I found that was consistent with my kids and consistent with people in general is that we're highly motivated about something. There's this intersection of passion and interesting. And later on we talk about superpowers, right? But I was saving one of the things that my kids and I have been doing for now probably 5.5 years now. And we have something called a problem and gratitude journal. And so the gratitude part, most people kind of know already what that means. You're just saying what you're grateful for, right? We know neurologically, emotionally, spiritually what that does for someone. And apparently it's scientifically proven through that and meditation, all that kind of stuff really helps someone's wellness and well-being and spiritual joy and peace and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not here for that life coachy stuff. But the problem part is something very different. When I tell some of my friends, like, yeah, my kids fill out what's called a problem gratitude journal, they're like, problems? Like, why are we writing problems, right? And my question to them was, what do you think is a problem? Is a problem bad or good?
What? You telling me this whole time I've been using just regular old Scotch tape to affix my bricks to my door jambs? It's gonna be a revelation. Oh! Shoot! Oh!
And some of them with the younger kids now, they're like, problems are bad, problems are bad, problems are bad. And then when we start talking about, what we do to make money, how money is made, their mind shifted into what a problem means. And probably not to your surprise, the entrepreneur mindset sees problem as an opportunity. And even right now, we're facing in this situation at the time recording, it is smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. And there's so much fear and all this kind of stuff. And I'm no expert, but I do my best to be safe. But I also, put my foot in the ground and say, this is what I'm gonna do. And I feel it's safe, right? But even this, we're facing with so many changes from government to people to customers to like companies going bankrupt to people having mental health challenges and even myself trying to maintain a calm, peace, place of mind. And in all of this, I actually find opportunity. I remind myself, what is all this about? Last night, my daughter and I, we spoke till 1 a.m. about The Big Short and how she sees this entire, effect and economically happening all over again when the whole subprime catastrophe took place in 2008 and over historically. So we had this amazing conversation and she was really down about it at first. And then suddenly her mind shifted. It just shifted. And because I asked different questions to shape the direction and the energy behind the conversation. And suddenly she's like, you know what? I have a few things which I could now see a new light, a new perspective, a new lens, the entrepreneurship lens, as we say, right? And so my kids create, in the beginning, I kind of had them to write every day, but now it's like, whenever they feel like writing into it, they write into it. And there's days where they write, there's days where they don't. There's a few days in a row where they write a whole bunch. And this is how the problem and gratitude journal goes. It goes like this. Every day they write, a problem I would like solved is, or as they get older, a crisis I would like solved is, and sometimes they write both. And then, of course, I am grateful for. The whole idea is that every day we go around seeing problems as something really bad, and it puts us in a space where it's negative. And remember the whole, we have like, 80,000 thoughts a day or 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of it goes to the next day and 80% of it is negative. Well, this is the lens that we have now. So many of us do. And even entrepreneurs fall into this. It's not like when you become an entrepreneur, you never fall into the space of negativity. No way, not at all. It's why we do these things like gratitude journals and problem journals. But problems now is becoming an opportunity. We started this 5 years ago, right? And the theory behind that I had from like years ago was this, which is one day, your idea, your whole point is to train your mind to see things differently. And one day you're gonna talk about a problem that matters to you. You're gonna be like, why does this problem matter to me? And one day the gratitude will be, I'm so grateful I discovered this problem. Suddenly they start marrying each other. And then the question is, why do you feel this interesting, or why do you have this interest in this particular problem where it just keeps your mind creating and giving this energy, right? And that's when we say you have found something that you feel a connection to, that you need to decide if you're going to get involved with it or not, right? And at this point, we talk to the kids and we say, some problems are meant to do non-profit wise. So I've seen many problems in the world and I've approached it and I've solved it with the entrepreneurial lens and mindset and approach, but I solved it without the intention of making any money. But then there's ones where I'm like, I think this is something I can build a life around and also make a living. And that's when you go through the whole problem thing that we discussed 2 modules ago. Is it something that's popular? Is it growing? Is there a crisis, right? And so what's been a lot of fun is that to watch my kids come up with different ideas. And my daughter at 12 years old, on her 12th birthday, she released this. She designed this herself and it's positive vibes. And in her journal, she wrote one day, she's like, why can't people be more positive? Why can't people be happier? Then I asked her, and then she's like, you know what? This is something I really want to shift. And not to my surprise, where she's today, 3.5, 4 years later, so almost 4 years later, she is around creating positive and enjoyable experiences. When you meet her, how she's chosen to show up is always very joyful. She's an incredible girl. I love being around her because it's like, when I feel like crap, just go near her and somehow like, boop, positive vibe comes up, right? And so that was one of them that was really cool. It translated to this. And then on her birthday, she gave it to some of her friends who attended the birthday, and she also knew that some of her friends were kind of, captains and leaders within band and a badminton team and volleyball team.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Put their names on it and then threw like the sport on it. I think that was the edition where she had a sport. But eventually, over the years, the year before that, year and a half before that, she would do things to make a little bit of money here and there. But she saved up just enough to buy 30 sweatshirts and 30 of these caps. And then she decided to stitch names of different people. And at first, she just wanted to get into the visibility of people who were influential in her school. And that created orders. She also she wrote a message, a note with it. And it didn't just go to the student, but also there's behind or below, I don't remember, I should bring it, but there's a message to the parents saying, when you support positive vibe, you support your kids and taking steps towards positivity, something like that.
Wow.
Right? So it was really cool for her to think about this. Now, what we didn't realize was that because these people were influential and they're on the teams, other teammates want it. So then an entire team ordered her sweatshirt, put on the school logo, put their names on. They went to a tournament. Other teams saw it. Yo, what's this positive vibe stuff? Yo, this girl in our school is like doing this thing. She wants to promote positivity, blah, blah, blah. Yo, that's so cool. Let me talk to my coach to see if we can support it. The coach finds out it's done by a student. Boom, boom, boom. Schools started ordering t-shirts and sweatshirts, and it was a business, right? Did it last long? About maybe close to a year. It didn't go the full year, but it led her to think about other businesses, right? And so we're gonna not talk about the other business in this. I'll talk about it in the following module where she's focused on next. But there's two businesses. One she's currently working on, and the other one is live and making money. The other one is like kind of like a little side fun dream. Like I have a coffee shop idea that is fun, and it's like I'll run with it it's the last thing I would want to do. It's basically when I don't want to travel anymore and stay in one place and I want to meet cool people, I have this coffee shop idea, right? And I have shared it with people and I said, hey, if you want to run with it, I don't care, right? But it's one of those things. Peony has one of those. I still remember another piece of that she wrote, like something else that she wrote in her journal one day. She came home after a school Christmas party, and the next day she went back and it was like still a mess. And she's like, I know what to write in my journal. I already know. She came home, she's like, oh, actually when I picked her up, she was, by the way, I know I'm gonna write my prom journal tonight. Got back to school today and I'm like, the school's a mess. She's kind of a bit of a neat freak. And she's like, I know, right? There's gotta be a better way to keep schools clean after a party. Like, so she's like, I'm gonna try to come up with a way when there's a massive event, there's gotta be a quick way to clean up effectively, efficiently, that's good for the environment, blah, 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 blah. This is her. Like, so this prom gratitude journal has been extremely powerful. Athena has a few ideas actually. And one of those kind of silly was we were in a cute little home, but our backyard was massive. And she was, her chore was to mow the lawn that particular day. She comes home and she's like, I know it's gonna be in my prom journal tonight. There's just gotta be a better way to mow the lawn. There's gotta be a more efficient way to mow the lawn. She was like, I'm done with mowing the lawn, right? And so again, what's really exciting is something very simple. Prom gratitude journal, everyone does it together. I still do it. And what I've seen over the years is how it shaped my kids' perspective on things. And so it ties up a lot of what we've already discussed today. Like we ties up the crisis part, it ties up, validating the problem and understanding it. It talks about solving, it connects things that are interesting, it connects things that are interesting, and what's that other thing that we find, problems and crisis that we find.
A few moments later.
Passionate. Yeah, passion, right? So when you create this, it gives an opportunity. So the gratitude part is where you bring this positive energy in. So the problem brings like this lens, and then the gratitude brings its positive energy. Those two combined, what we've done over the years and sharing it with each other over the years has completely shifted them. And so really hope it's something you do. I've mentioned this on so many podcast interviews, and I really hope you guys, if it's your first time hearing it, run with it. It is so awesome. If not for your kids, for yourself. I guarantee you it's gonna shift the way you see things. It's gonna shift how you feel connected to the world and how you could be connected to something that you can do that could better the world, right? And possibly, if you follow the prom crisis, it might even be connected to a whole business idea that might be a unicorn or something that's so impactful that you never thought was there, but it's always been there. Pretty cool, huh? Anyways, much love. Here, it's the problem and gratitude journal. Oh, and someone wants to say goodbye to you guys. Someone wants to say goodbye to you. Hey, feel pretty good these days. Don't want to destroy the world anymore. I just want to make everyone laugh. That's it. I'm the first chuckling and talking Death Star, for goodness sake. Like, that's got to be worth something funny and like comedy shows and stand-ups and things like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Peace.